Morning, folks. Day soap is Figaro. Sometimes this is referred to as Figaro Gold Monsieur. So what it looks like there on the inside, what's left of it in this particular container, it's an oud scent. I'll have a scent description down below, and this one here, when I looked at Italian Barber, it's out of stock. I think you might be able to find it if you look around a little bit. That's looking around, by the way. Anyway, it's one of all the Figaros, this is my favorite, and especially the aftershave. The aftershave to me is the real icing on the cake. Really like the design of this particular container. It's glass. You're able to grip it even if your hands are a little bit on the wet side. And once again, something that I appreciate is, it does give you the scent profile here on the back side. Makes it pretty nice. I really like this container. I also got the Taconic Pre-Shave Oil, using 2 pumps per shave. And today's beard oil, I know sometimes I show it, sometimes I don't, but this one here, I switched it up just for this particular shave. And this is, as it goes for scent-wise for beard oils, I really do like this one here. This is my second container of this particular one. Yeah, matter of fact, that was my first one, and I really do like that scent. Got it whipped up here with a brush from Leo Ferrat. This is a Red Dirt Shaving Society brush. Give you some kind of idea what that brush handle looks like. It is pretty nice. It's got a synthetic knot tuxedo, and that's what it looks like there in the bowl, and it is wet. Just about all ran out just right then. Yeah, it's pretty much on the wet side. Shaver of the day. The shaver I'm going to be using today, this will be the Contour, a Gym Contour. This would be number 2. In other words, the last one they made. And you can kind of see how that design is on the handle. This one here is the flip top. And in the Contour 1, kind of see that button on the back side there. The first one was the push button. And they're very much similar, just slightly different. But you can kind of see how they're very close looking. This here is the supply injector. So you can kind of see where that design came from. Thought it might be worth pointing out. As well as here is a PAA adjustable injector. You can kind of see that same thought process coming through on design of this particular shaver also. So borrowing ideas from other shavers that seem to work well. For me, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, all these are different for various reasons. Some may like the push button, some may like the flip top. It just depends on what you're, I guess you might say what you're after, what you desire. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. 2 pumps here for the pre-shave oil. Go ahead and get started here. But that design there, you can kind of see it coming through. There's a number of the injector handles that are shaped similar to that. And one of the things, of course, that to me that kind of comes through is at the end of the handle is the fact that it is tapered. Whether the handle is shaped exactly like that. A lot of the injector handles that, days gone by have a tapered or a bent end at the end of the handle. And it makes it pretty nice because a lot of times you're putting your little finger under that part right there at the very end of the handle, and kind of helps with the control of the shaver. If you shave like that. But if you do, then you can understand what I'm talking about, that as it goes for it to help with control and guiding that shaver around your face. I still smell the soap. It is the scent of the soap is not a real strong scent. To me, the real impact of the whole shave is the aftershave. So in other words, if you maybe don't particularly care to have any more soap, or maybe you're just interested in the aftershave, to me the aftershave is the real icing. It is really nice. I enjoy it. It is one of those first Figaro scents that I ran across that I just really fell in love with. I understand that, for instance, some people may not like the almond. And not only that, some of that's still pretty hard to find. It's not the easiest to run across. And then when you do find it on some websites that are available, they may not ship it to you. In other words, they don't ship to the States. Just something to point out. But this one here's, and I think COVID probably has a lot to do with the availability of some of these products. The virus has really messed up the supply, and it may be a moment for that ever get straightened back out. But hopefully it does, especially this one. In other words, I really do think it's worth a try. You like I say, you may not be interested in that style of soap. You know, just looking at the ingredients, maybe it's not hitting the sweet spot for you. But as goes for the aftershave, to me, aftershave is the real point right there. That they really topped it off quite nicely. Though I forgot to mention that the blade in this shaver is a gem blade. It's the Teflon coated PTF. And there's I'll put a link down below to try a blade if you're interested in getting started in a single edge shaver. This particular shaver, you kind of see the angle. There's not much of a lift off of the face. So I guess that's maybe what, 10 degrees right there, maybe 5, somewhere in there. It's just a little bit off of the face for me. Off that top cap. You can find some of these shavers, price range, you know, it's all over the map. It has a lot to do with the condition of the shaver. I've seen them go anywhere from 15 to 50. Just depends on what comes with the shaver also. But TriaBlade has 3 blades that'll fit this particular shaver. One will be a gem blade that's Teflon coated. Another one won't be Teflon coated, that's a gem blade. And then there'll be another one that's going to be a PAA carbon. And that'll help you to give you some idea, at least with those particular blades, what one may work for you. The one that's not in that group, unfortunately, is a Treat Super. To me, that blade there's one to try if you can find some. I usually find mine on eBay, so. As it goes for Treat Supers. I know from time to time, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements will have some of these blades available, but I think they're out of stock at the moment, if I remember right. Yeah, not everybody carries this these style of blades. Pretty smooth so far. I always get pretty good shaves with these shavers. I wouldn't consider it, well, it depends on what you're used to in the way of the blade feel. I would go ahead and I guess you might say maybe a medium. The upper end of a mild towards the bottom of a medium maybe. At least for me it is. It's a very gentle, smooth shaver for me. Just pay attention to your angle, because adjusting the angle will adjust the aggressiveness on this shaver. Pretty good lather. I mean, I could shave with what's left over right there. It is a different kind of base than probably what most are used to if you're used to shaving with some of the artisans of today. I don't think it has any of the butters in it, if I remember right. Could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing the butters. That's not one of the on the ingredient list, if I remember correctly. Like I say, I have a link to Italian Barber, where you can read the ingredients and decide for yourself if this is something you might be interested in trying. It's not a real expensive soap either. Don't think the aftershave is either. If I remember correctly, I think it's around 15 bucks. That's not too terribly expensive. And sometimes you might be able to keep it on sale. If you can catch it on sale, that's even better. Kind of reminds me of it's comes from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day when the kids used to watch it, and I remember the part that to me just stuck in my head is never pay full price for late pizza. And it's like kind of like, you know, don't pay full price for shaving gear. You'll miss out on a few items if you go along with that, but you'll save some money too. You're not always going to be able to find some items on sale and save yourself some bucks. Usually because it's just a supply issue. Some artisans, for instance, or if it comes to razors, whatever the case might be, in other words, they're just going to make a few of these, and then once they sell out of it, that's not making any more for that particular year, especially if you're looking at seasonal scents. Some artisans, in other words, that's what how they got their business set up, and probably has a lot to do with also how much money they got really available to do that sort of thing. They're staying on a budget too, in other words. To me, this is still pretty slick. So, not 100% sure if this is vegan. I don't remember off the top of my head. One to say it's from Lana wool is in it. Can't remember for sure. I might have got it confused with another one that I was reading. I would say it's close to being like a vegan. If you've ever shaved with a soap commander, it would be something close to that. Not exactly by any means, but it does remind me of something like that. This is the other side of that brush. In other words, if you look at that brush handle, I mean, it is just, really love the color of this brush. It was hard to decide, in other words, you know, how the thought is, or you might, you know, back then when I got it, you know, going with a badger knot, and I thought, nope, I'm going to go with a synthetic. Quite happy that I did. I think it looks just outstanding. I'll put a link down below for this beard oil also, especially the scent. If you're not familiar with the scent, yeah, I think I've got it down somewhere. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements is one of those that, in other words, you know, if it's seasonal, sometimes you'll find it on the website, sometimes you won't. And this particular one, I think, is seasonal. It's not a year-round scent, at least per Douglas. In other words, for me, it's a year-round scent. I'll wear it year-round. Don't have a problem wearing it. I really do like it. Matter of fact, this is the first beard oil that I got a positive comment about. I've used Stirling's, well, it's just a beard oil that smells like black licorice. Now my wife, yeah, she commented on it pretty quick. She doesn't like it. But this is the first beard oil that I got a positive comment from somebody outside the family. I was on my way to work, and I stopped at the donut shop to pick up some sausage rolls. And the lady behind the counter told me that she thinks I'm the only one that could pull that scent off. I thought that was pretty interesting. Just a smooth shave. I know there'll probably going to be a little bit of stinging from the alum block. It typically is, not always, but with these shavers, every once in a while, I'll get a little bit of stinging here and there. But for me, it's just a very smooth, comfortable shave. There's just some feedback from the blade. Not a whole lot. The feel is, I can feel the blade, you know, cutting through the whiskers. But that's all I feel. The biggest difference between these two shavers, if you're not very familiar with it, the one I'm using today, there's a spring to help hold that top cap down, and that might be one of the deciding factors in between the Contour 2 and then the Contour 1 being the push button. Is the push button, that mechanism is what's driving it down. Of course, that button could wear out over time. I haven't had one, in other words, out of all my purchases on eBay and whatnot, I haven't ran across one where that button has wore out, where it's not holding the cap down, holding that blade in place. So somebody might opt for the push button just because of the fact that you could get one with a spring that's not very strong anymore, not holding that cap down like you want it to. But like I say, I have not ran across one of those. It's just something to be aware of, because I know at some point in time it's going to happen. I've heard of some folks, finding some of their purchases from eBay where that spring is not as tight as much as it needs to be. In case if you're unfamiliar with these kind of shavers, you don't see very many shave of the days with these kind of shavers, contours, push button, or what I call the flip top. Yep, right there. Got just a little bit of stinging right there. Sometimes on the against the grain, I kind of expect it with this particular shaver. Every once in a while, I'll pick up a spot where maybe I get the pressure off just a little bit, or get just a little bit too aggressive with the beard reduction. I don't have much left on my face. As it goes for efficiency, this is pretty darn efficient. Just my normal routine, I say at least 98% of my beard is gone. In other words, there's not hardly anything left to be trying to pick up. At least that's with my beard growth, the direction that it grows with my normal routine. That base feels pretty darn smooth. Witch hazel, unscented, mentholated from Stirling. I probably will sometime here maybe in the near future, kind of touch base when it comes to pre-shaves, because not everybody may appreciate the oil. This is working out pretty well for me. Taconic Pre-Shave Oil is pretty nice. I've used some pre-shave oils in the past that seem to be just a tad bit too thick. In other words, I could feel the difference in a negative way when my blade goes across my face. This here, I don't get that impression with this. The blade goes across my face smooth. In other words, I don't feel anything negative from the pre-shave. Anything, it's more on the positive side. Seems like it assists with the post-shave to me. My face feels somewhat more moisturized with some of the soaps that I've used in the past when I haven't used pre-shave oil. But as goes for, you may not particularly care for a pre-shave oil. Pre-shave soaps, they come in different sizes and varieties. I may wait just a little bit longer before I do a video on it, but if you're not using one, I can throw a video together showing there's a lot of different ones out there, a lot to be choosing from. Nice cooling effect this morning. Now for the icing on the cake. This particular setup here, the cap has one of those, matter of fact, it's one of the first ones I bought. This cap has that post. I don't know if you can see it. There's a post inside the cap that goes inside of the plastic restrictor, help keep what's in the container. And to me, it also, I feel like it helps keep it, seals it up and keeps everything nice and fresh. And boy, that scent. It's a very smooth scent to me. Kind of reminds me of the saying, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. They had made a soap and aftershave for the for a wet shaving group that had a saying, bringing back the classic, no, something about bringing back the smooth or something like that. Anyhow, that saying to me just really fits this, because to me, when I smell it, especially right off the container, to me it is a very smooth scent. I don't want to say like butterscotch, but of like a butter type smooth. That's what it makes me think of. It doesn't smell like butter though. Really nice shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Still got a little bit of soap right there. Hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.